Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, March 10th, 2025. I'm Rochelle Batiste with the details. Minister of Tourism Carlos James has credited the recent awards St. Vincent and the Grenadines received to the hard work and dedication of the staff who work tirelessly behind the scenes promoting the country. SVG was honored with the Pacific Travel Writers Award in the Destination of the Year Ecotourism category. Minister James also received the prestigious Tourism Minister of the Year for Sustainable Tourism. Speaking at a media briefing today, Minister James said that these awards are a testament to the strength of the country's tourism product.
76% of travelers are now showing an expressed desire to travel more sustainably. Close to 70% of tourists want their tourism spend to benefit local communities. Yes, they're coming, they want to go to good hotels, 4 and 5 star hotels. They want to ride in comfort in luxury vehicles, but they want to ensure that when they leave an island, they're leaving some of their resources in the hands of local people who are going to benefit from the tourism dollar. And the numbers are showing that. 65% will choose hotels with sustainable credentials. And what that simply means are hotels that are becoming more environmentally and energy conscious, and that is something which I want us to look at, and the Hotel Association, we have to work closely on that. There are concessions in place, but we have to package them in a way that there's a greater appreciation of how we can tap into the support for hoteliers dealing with energy, for instance.
Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Annette Mag, who also addressed the news conference, lauded the remarkable achievements, stating that the awards highlight the ongoing efforts to promote the destination in a sustainable manner.
This is truly a testament of us solidifying our position on the world stage as a global leader in sustainable tourism development and ecotourism. These awards are not just accolades. They are affirmation of our deliberate and strategic work, we have put in positioning St. Vincent and the Grenadines as the premier ecotourism and adventure destination in the Caribbean. We have long embraced the ethos of sustainable travel, promoting and marketing nature-based, low-impact tourism experience to allow visitors to immerse themselves in our unspoiled landscapes, from our lush rainforests and many waterfalls to our coral reefs and protected marine parks.
Meanwhile, President of the SVG Hotel and Tourism Association, Isola Giddens, commended the strides made in St. Vincent and the Grenadines tourism sector, which are being championed by Minister Carlos James. She also emphasized the vital role the hospitality sector plays in advancing standards and contributing to the growth of tourism in the country.
It is critical that we look beyond the challenges and focus on transforming our negatives into positives. The success of these awards should serve as a powerful reminder of our capabilities. Just imagine we have not 100% in tourism as yet for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and we want such. What will happen when we get our staff well trained to meet international standards, when our standards of itself for each hotel property? We cannot take this lightly. We have to look at this seriously and look as partnering with the Tourism Authority and all other stakeholders to bring St. Vincent and the Grenadines to a higher level.
Additionally, the tourism minister and some of his staff participated in several activities in Berlin, Germany, promoting SVG to travelers in a niche market. And Minister James also announced today the appointment of new personnel within his ministry. The newly appointed Chief Executive Officer of the Carnival Development Corporation, Rodney Small, and the Acting Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Tourism, Dr. Timiria Brown, were introduced to the public at today's news conference. The minister expressed confidence in their abilities, noting that they are young, qualified, and deserving of their new positions.
These are two extremely talented and intelligent, dedicated young people to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Their appointments are going to really drive this ministry, drive our development, drive further and propel economic growth in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I want my ministry to be one of the leading ministries, not just in St. Vincent, but across the region. When you talk tourism, when you talk culture, when you talk sustainability and development, when you talk civil aviation and its regulatory role within the framework of air connectivity in the region, you must talk about St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So in my quest to do that, it is simply to draw out the talents, the best, the innovation that is within our young people, and we're bringing them on board and working with them and grooming them, because they are the next generation of leaders and the next generation of senior persons in civil service, and they will continue to do excellent work within not just, as I said, our own development as a people, but the region.
In other local news now, we hear that in Parliament last Thursday, Dr. Rhonda Brewster, Minister of Housing, Informal Human Settlements, Youth and Sports, provided an important update on the rebuilding efforts in the Southern Grenadines following the devastating impact of Hurricane Beryl on July 1st of last year. Minister Brewster reported that after conducting a comprehensive assessment, it was determined that a total of 149 homes across the Southern Grenadines were completely destroyed by the hurricane. In addition, many more homes are still in need of repairs.
Based on the assessment, there is a total of 149 houses that were completely destroyed, meaning that they were flattened. We have to rebuild those from scratch. However, Madam Speaker, this number can go upwards, not downwards, because as mentioned before, based on the levels, sometimes we may assess a building as a level 3, but when you get to do actual work on that building, we may have to pull down the entire building. So to date, as mentioned, is 149 houses that were completely flattened or destroyed.
The minister highlighted and will emphasize the importance of using high-quality materials for the reconstruction process, noting that this will not only help rebuild homes more quickly, but will also ensure that the new structures are more resilient to future natural disasters.
The government has several entities have come forward offering various material and methods, which range from precast concrete slabs to containerized homes, and even the steel frame homes. And from those offerings, the government found it fit, through experience and the history we had with the Saibaba group out of Trinidad, and those houses are similar to those at Orange Hill. So we are moving forward with that option, and we also have good history with Duravilla out of Guyana. So those are the two options that we are moving forward with as it pertains to different methods of building.
Furthermore, Brewster highlighted that outside entities which specialize in relief efforts and have experience working with these high-quality materials will be providing training to local contractors.
And from initial discussions, it would take from foundation to completion one of these homes approximately 2 weeks maximum. And this is what we would need, and they have also offered for their technical team to be here on the ground to help us to train a lot of our contractors here so that we can get the work done faster. We have already commenced the construction of these homes, as was mentioned earlier by the Prime Minister. For this week, on Monday and Tuesday, 35 homes were started in Union Island. There's a remnant of about 12 or so left on Myro, and they have started that process as well. And to give a date of completion, it would be very difficult, but I can assure the people of the Grenadines that we are moving very swiftly.
In addition to offering an update on the rebuilding efforts in the Southern Grenadines, Dr. Brewster provided a brief damage report in Parliament last Thursday during the question and answer segment. The report covered the overall impact of Hurricane Beryl on the Grenadines, including level 4 and level 3 damage to houses and the status of consultations with affected residents.
On Corner 1, there were 42 such houses. In the level 3 and 4 category, 30 were wooden structures and 12 concrete structures. On Union Island, the initial number was 85 that were classified as level 3 and 4. However, that number has gone up to 91 as of the last report at the beginning of this month. On Myro, there were a total of 22 houses categorized as level 3 and 4s. This consultation will help homeowners regarding the repairs of their homes. In level 3 and 4s, there's a total of 35 homes under construction now. There are about 9 that has been completed already on the level 3 and 4s, and I again want to emphasize that we cannot sometimes pin down level 3 because there's always, you go in at a level 3 and we may have to pull it down, it's a level 4.
And President of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Teachers Union, Oswald Robinson, has expressed a deep concern over the recent termite infestation at the J.P. Eustace Memorial Secondary School. In a statement today, Robinson emphasized that the infestation has created an unhealthy environment for both students and staff, which could potentially affect their health and well-being. Robinson further called for urgent intervention from the Ministry of Education and other relevant authorities to resolve the situation as soon as possible.
The conditions under which teaching and learning are taking place. If you notice in these pictures, you would see infestation of termites in the walls of the building, in the frame of the building, and in fact, one area, total displacement of louvers which fell over 3 stories. I'm calling on the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, Baxter, and all the relevant authorities to urgently move to the UJP Eustace Secondary School and to deal with the removal of the frame of louvers, and at the same time to deal with the situation of the termites. It's an unhealthy and it is also unsafe for the students, the teachers, the occupants of that secondary school. I am urging the authorities to do the honorable thing to ensure that the facilities here they are taken into consideration.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment is alerting the public to the presence of the norovirus, a highly contagious virus that causes gastroenteritis. In a news release issued today, the ministry stated that symptoms of the norovirus include vomiting, diarrhea, stomach cramps, nausea, fever, and body aches. According to the ministry, while the norovirus infection are usually mild and short-lived, they can lead to severe dehydration, especially in young children, the elderly, and individuals with weakened immune systems. The ministry explained that the norovirus spreads easily through direct contact with an infected person, a consumption of contaminated food or water, or touching contaminated surfaces. A stool sample test, or RT-PCR, can confirm the presence of the virus by detecting its DNA. Given the virus's rapid transmission, the ministry urges all Vincentians to take the following precautionary measures: get tested for the virus, wash hands frequently, practice proper food hygiene, disinfect surfaces regularly, avoid close contact with others if sick, and ensure adequate hydration while seeking medical attention. The ministry assured the public that it is actively monitoring the situation and collaborated with healthcare facilities to ensure a swift response and effective treatment. You are encouraged to remain vigilant and follow these guidelines to protect yourselves and your communities. Women's empowerment is steadily advancing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, according to Minister of National Mobilization, Social Development, Family, Gender Affairs, and Persons with Disabilities, Kiesel Peters. She made this statement while delivering remarks at the Empowerment Symposium, which was hosted on Saturday in commemoration of International Women's Day. The event, organized by the Gender Affairs Division in collaboration with COSO International, brought together a diverse group of individuals and organizations committed to promoting gender equality and women's rights. Minister Peters emphasized that while significant progress has been made in advancing women's rights and opportunities in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, there is still much more work to be done.
Women in this country in the past have made remarkable strides, paved the way, and laid the foundation for us today in every field and aspect of life. This foundation promotes women's empowerment through programs and policies that provide training, financial support, resources, and opportunities for women to engage in business, whether formal or informal, traditional jobs, and leadership roles. Women are actively in a variety of sectors, including agriculture, small business, technology, construction, engineering, and tourism, to name a few. In rural areas, many women are involved in farming and other income-generating activities and boosting economic participation. We know a country's development cannot be fully realized without the inclusion of women and its economic development plans and policies.
The minister also highlighted key statistics that demonstrate the remarkable strides women have made in various sectors over the years, pointing out that women are also increasingly represented in leadership positions within government, business, and civil society.
Women in St. Vincent and the Grenadines have notably high literacy rates, with significant emphasis on ongoing efforts to ensure that girls and young women have access to education. In fact, women often outperform men in educational outcomes, achieving higher graduation rates at both secondary and tertiary levels. Statistics reveal a higher enrollment of women compared to men at the University of the West Indies across all campuses, including the Open Campus, where male enrollment was 289, while female enrollment reached 1,230.
Peters further stressed that the continued development of women's empowerment in St. Vincent and the Grenadines would require a collective effort from all sectors of society.
Women policies, grassroots movements, and the determined efforts of local and international organizations have made an impact, but continued attention to legal protections, educational opportunities, economic empowerment, and cultural change is essential for creating an equal society. We need the voices of women all across St. Vincent and the Grenadines to come together in unity to ensure the empowerment of our women and girls. No single entity or agency can achieve this alone. It will take a collective from individuals, communities, organizations, and policymakers. Together, we must work to guarantee equal access to education, healthcare, economic opportunities, and a society free from gender-based violence and discrimination.
The Empowerment Symposium serves as an important platform to discuss the challenges and opportunities for women in SVG, as well as to showcase the achievements and contributions of women in various fields. And the women's arm of the opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP, hosted a women's electoral conference on Saturday in celebration of International Women's Day 2025. Addressing the event held at the NDP's headquarters, President Dr. Godwin Friday stated that women in St. Vincent and the Grenadines continue to face a number of challenges, including issues related to health, sexual and domestic violence. Dr. Friday emphasized that there is still much work to be done to address these pressing issues and improve the situation for women, making the recognition of International Women's Day all the more necessary.
For too long, we have had in this country a lot of talk about the problems confronting women. Those have mentioned domestic violence, sexual violence against women and children, the very high incidence of sexual assault, rape, and other forms of violence here in this country is a serious indictment on a government that's been in office for 25 years almost, and the situation has gotten worse, not better. We have one of the highest rates of rape in the world, according to the UN. Clearly, more needs to be done, and more needs to be done urgently to address these problems.
The NDP leader outlined a number of specific actions in the agenda aimed at addressing the issues affecting women, ensuring that their concerns are met with meaningful solutions.
One of the biggest problems we have in this country is unemployment. And who feels it most? Women. Unemployment, high unemployment leads to poverty. Who feels it most? Women. So in our general program, here we talk about we are going to focus on skills training, make sure it's provided free of cost to those persons who will take advantage of it. That will benefit a lot of women, because you know, women are the main providers in our families, raise our children, raise our families, keep our families together. As they get older, they get more responsibility because they have the responsibility of the children. They're looking more for secure employment, for ways in which they can look after their families, when very often the men have gone off, either starting other families or doing other things, but many also stay and build that family unit, which is the cornerstone of the success of our children and our country, our communities. Without that, we will continue to struggle to deal with a lot of these problems that we have heard enunciated earlier today.
A Garifuna delegation from various countries is in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to participate in the rite of passage and pilgrimage to Balaso. The delegation arrived yesterday and a welcoming ceremony was held for them at the Argyle International Airport as part of the homecoming activities for Heroes Day. Technical advisor of the Garifuna Heritage Foundation, Zoila Ellis Brown, stated that the pilgrimage to Balaso will be the first since the government announced its acquisition of the island.
Let me just say that a very important moment has come. Our Prime Minister and the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines on the 6th of March declared to us that Balaso is now patrimony of St. Vincent. Stand up, yes, let us stand. Let us stand and celebrate that moment, this historic moment. Balaso, which was a privately owned island, was acquired by the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and it is now we can now begin to work on it as the resting place, the sacred place of our ancestors.
The homecoming of the Garifuna is now an annual event, an initiative of the Consul General of the USA, Rodney McIntosh. The Consul General expressed that the people are excited to return for the pilgrimage to Balaso and will also participate in activities leading up to Heroes Day on March 14th.
So we are here to assure you that we love you, that we will welcome you home at any time. The people from Central America, you need no visas to come to Urumea. Jump on a plane, come to us. This year, we'll be taking the delegation to the National Heroes Day ceremony at the Obelisk. That's on Friday, March 14th, National Heroes Day. We'll be taking you to Fancy as well for the celebration there with a short stop in Sandy Bay. We'll be taking you also to Greg's. And on Sunday, we'll be taking you on your pilgrimage to that island, Baliso.
Part of the delegation includes a spiritual leader from Guatemala who said it is an honor to return to his ancestors' homeland.
I'm so privileged to be in St. Vincent today because I was able to find out, based on documents, that my great-great-grandfather, who made it to the shore of Roatán and eventually to Guatemala, before the plane landed, I heard his name, Manuel. For me to out loud his name, Manuel, because he was one of those warriors that reached the shore of Roatán. There are a whole lot of written documents that are being on archives hidden from the Garifuna people, not to know what they really about.
A delegation comes from Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, the USA, Canada, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and Dominica. Tomorrow, they will participate in the 12th International Garifuna Conference at the UWI Global Campus site in Kingston, which opens at 1 p.m. And as activities continue for National Heroes and Heritage Month, a cultural showcase and exhibition was held on Sunday at the London Playing Field in Sandy Bay. The event featured a number of cultural performances and an exhibition of arts and crafts. It was also attended by members of the visiting Garifuna delegation. Chair of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Indigenous Peoples Association, Joan Hoyt, said that the event, which was the first of its kind, hosted by the association, would not be the last.
There is so much joy to be had from our coming together, and I really think that we have to be in unity. I hope that we would put aside all our differences, because the things that unite us are more important than the things that divide us. And so to the extent that 5 different organizations listened to my call and agreed with me that we needed to form a group to represent the interest of the people north of the river, speaks volumes for how much that is needed. You know, there are some things that remain the same. I'm quite old now, and I see a bunch of my friends who went to school with me here. And some of the things that existed when I was a little girl still exist about the river. And I hope that we can change them, if for nothing else, to let the people of St. Vincent know ours is the history that made this country.
Hoyt further told the gathering that it was the Garifuna ancestors who fought to keep St. Vincent and the Grenadines free for many years, a legacy we all should be proud of.
I want you to know, all you little boys and girls, that as a teacher in this area of the country for years, I did not know anything about my history. All I knew was that we were supposed to be cannibals and savages and fighters and all of that. What they did not tell us is that our ancestors kept this country from falling into slavery and the plantation system for hundreds of years, hundreds, while all the other nations around, Barbados, St. Lucia, Trinidad, Dominica, Grenada, they were falling to the ravages of the greedy white men who came in here and stole our lands and killed our people. And if that doesn't make you furious as it makes me, then I don't know what else would. Because this land is our land.